This Level 8 Music Theory course has been generously sponsored by Musicians English, the Calgary-based music organization which is helping to connect Korean music teachers with the RCM's curriculum. For more information about this program, you can check out the link in the description below. Now in Level 8, we learned how to write contrasting periods, and we learned how to do it by figuring out the implied harmony. Not much has changed in Level 8. However, Level 8 is the first time the RCM will ask you to write melodies in minor keys. Now, you might think that's not quite a big deal, but there's something we need to discuss, you and me. Here in front of me, I've written out my own minor key melody, but I've left something very, very, very wrong with it. So I'm going to play it, and I want you to listen to this, and I want you to try and figure out what's missing. Now, if you like sea shanties and pirate ships, that sounds pretty good. But for stylistic reasons, it's wrong to put on your Level 8 RCM exam. Your Level 8 RCM exam is trying to train you to write tonal melodies. And we learn how to write tonal melodies because we need to learn how to control harmonic tension. So even though that sounds kind of cool, it's not right, and I wonder if you could figure out why. It was a minor scale, but it was kind of exclusively in the natural minor scale. When you write minor key melodies on your exam, you have to use the melodic minor scale, which means when the melody is going up, you have to raise the 6th and 7th. And when the melody is going down, you have to lower them. So because I've been teaching this for too long already, I've seen lots of students get low marks on this question on the Level 8 exam only because even though they wrote a great melody, they didn't raise 6 and 7 when their melody was pointed upwards, and they didn't lower 6 and 7 when their melody was in the downwards trajectory. Here's my melody again. I'm going to play the first line. Let's look at that first bar 1, okay? There's an F natural there. That's wrong because we're leaving that F in an upwards direction. So actually, that should be F sharp. Listen to this. That sounds different. So here's with F natural, and here's with F sharp. The F sharp has an upwards trajectory. It pushes us into the tonic. Now I purposely put this silly E natural as the high point of this melody because it's wrong. What's happening after that E natural? The melody is headed down to A. Now because we're headed down, that E natural should actually be E flat. It should sound like this. So here's the first line with the F sharp in the correct place and with the E flat as the high point. That will make your examiner a lot happier. Let's look at the second line. The very first motive. Again, there's an F natural, and even though it's coming from a G in a downwards direction, we're leaving the F in an upwards direction. So it would be best if it was F sharp, the raised leading tone. Now this bar, bar 6, is actually okay. We have E flat and we have F natural. So that's the lowered 7th and that's the lowered 6th. But that's okay because this motive is heading down to D. Down, down, down. But this second last bar, it really is a mess. So now we have scale degree 6 and 7 headed up to G, but they've both been flattened, so they're facing the wrong direction. What does it sound like if it's E natural and F sharp? That sounds a lot better. And for the second half of this bar, I'll keep the F sharp in the E natural. I'll keep the raised 7th and 6th because overall we're headed to that final G, the stable scale degree at the end of the melody. So here's the whole melody now with the correct sharps and flats. We've raised the 7th and lowered the 7th in the correct place, and we've raised the 6th and lowered the 6th in the correct place. So you've learned a ton since level 5. You've learned parallel periods and contrasting periods. You've learned about stable scale degrees and unstable scale degrees. You've learned about half cadences and perfect cadences. You've learned that drawing a big slur over the melody gets you a mark because that's the phrase mark. You've learned how to find the implied harmony of the opening motive and the opening phrase and use that to guide your second phrase. Now you have to write melodies in a minor key, and you have to remember, if the melody is headed up, you raise the 6th and 7th as if you're writing the ascending version of a melodic minor. And if the melody is headed in a downwards direction, you lower the 6th and 7th as if you're writing the descending version of a melodic minor scale. And you always have to worry about where the note is going, right? So if you have a lowered 7th, the note should be going down, downwards. And if you have a raised 7th, the music is heading upwards. It doesn't matter where it came from, it matters where the melody is going. Let's go write some melodies on the whiteboard now and put that theory into practice.